Welcome to College Game Day with Hick the Stick for week 15 of the college football season. It is December already. I cannot believe it, but it's now time for the conference championship games. It's time to crown a champion. We got a lot of great conference championship games this week, but first, let's look back to last week. We had some big upsets. Wisconsin beat Minnesota. It was winner goes to the Big Ten championship, and Wisconsin beat Minnesota. So Wisconsin will be playing Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. And then, the biggest one of them all, Auburn beat number 5 Alabama. Alabama lost to Auburn. They got their second loss of the season, of the regular season, and they weren't going to the conference championship, but now they won't even go to the playoffs. And they've been in the playoffs every single year that the playoffs have been around. And this will be the first year that Alabama misses the playoffs. Auburn upsets Alabama. Well, last week I went 13-1, making my total prediction for this year 194 games right and 49 games wrong. I need 6 more games right to hit 200, and I think I can do that. We got 9 games total. I'm hoping that I can get at least 6 right. Well, our first game of the week, number 7 Baylor versus number 6 Oklahoma. This is the Big 12 championship game. It's going to be an exciting game. Sit down and watch this game because it's going to come down the end. It's going to be a high-scoring ball game. But first, let's look back to last year's conference championship. It was OU against Texas. OU's only loss this season was to Texas. Then they come to the conference championship game, and they revenge that loss, and Oklahoma ends up winning it. So, they lost to Texas, but then they beat them, and they made the college football playoffs. Now we go back to this year. Baylor lost to Oklahoma a couple weeks ago, and now they're playing them in the conference championship game. If Baylor beats Oklahoma, I'd say that it's like last year. They revenged their loss. They should make the playoffs. Baylor is going to try to revenge this game this week against Oklahoma. The Bears are hungry. They're mad. They're upset. They blew a 25-point lead to Oklahoma when they played them a couple weeks ago. They take home the Big 12 championship this week. They beat Oklahoma, and they got a shot, if Utah loses, to go to the college football playoffs. Baylor, I'm cheering for you. Our next game, the Sun Belt Championship. Louisiana versus number 21, Appalachian State. Appalachian State beats Louisiana. Miami, Ohio versus Central Michigan. Miami and Central Michigan, it's going to come down the end, but Central Michigan takes home the MAC championship. Our next game, number 20, Cincinnati versus number 17, Memphis. Memphis is ready for this game, but so is Cincinnati. It's going to maybe come down to who has the ball last. But I'm going with Memphis. Memphis wins the American Athletic Conference Championship. Memphis Tigers take home the trophy. Our next game, the SEC Championship. Number 4 Georgia versus number 2 LSU. Now, people are saying if Georgia beats LSU, then both teams make the playoffs. But if LSU beats Georgia, Georgia's out of it. Georgia wants to win this game to make sure they stay in the college football playoffs. Now, is LSU thinking, oh, we can lose this game and still make the playoffs? No, they want an SEC championship. They want to go undefeated. This team is ready to play this week. They're going to take care of business. LSU wins, and they lock their spot in the college football playoffs. LSU wins the SEC championship. And, oh, by the way, Joe Burrow, Heisman Trophy, he's taking it home this year. Heisman, Joe Burrow wins the game. Our next game, Hawaii versus number 19, Boise State. This is the Mountain West Championship game. it's going to come down to the end. No, it's not going to come down to the end because Boise State is going to take care of business and the Broncos are going to beat Hawaii and take home the Mountain West Championship Trophy. Our next game, number 23, Virginia versus number 3, Clemson, the ACC Championship game. Now, this game is going to be close for a while, but then I think Clemson wins the game. They keep their winning streak alive. They're at 27 right now. They make it 28. They take the SEC Championship Trophy home, and they go back to the playoffs. Clemson Tigers beat Virginia. Now our last game of the week, number 1 Ohio State versus number 8 Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat Minnesota to get into this game. Now Ohio State's already beat Wisconsin once this season. Can they do it again? Well, it's going to be close for a while, but then the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to do what they've done all season long. They're going to take care of business. They're going to get a lead. They're going to beat Wisconsin and clinch their spot in the college football playoffs. And I think they'll be the number 1 seat in the college football playoffs. Well, that's all I got here on College Game Day with Hick the Stick for Week 15. I'll see you next week as I make my bowl predictions. And then you won't see me again till January when I make my last video of the season. I'll see you next week.